Hey guys, Sean Bougie, surplusfundsriches.net. I'm going to give it a minute here. I'm a little bit early for the webinar this evening. I'm going to give it a minute for some folks to start showing up. If you guys are new to this, new to our live question and answer interactive webinars, a couple things you need to know. First of all, please don't use the Q&A section. I know it's a Q&A webinar. Please use the comments. All comments are private, so I will read your name whenever I answer one of your questions. I'll go through that with you so you'll know that I'm talking to you. But please always use the chat section, not the Q&A section. I also have some house cleaning items that I'm going to cover this evening. I appreciate everybody coming on board. If somebody could, when they get an opportunity, let me know you can hear and see me okay, and then I'll shut off chat so that we can go over some things that need to be taken care of before we get into the Q&A. But anybody out there, if you can hear and see me okay, please let me know. I'd very much appreciate it. And then I'll go into some house cleaning items and go further from there. Also, I just see it popped up. There should be a file download in front of you. There should be a file download in front of you. Go ahead and download that. That's got a lot of information in it, probably on the upcoming sale, Black Friday. Also on the programs in the bundle, so it'll give you a better idea of how, exactly what we're offering. Of course, and this is on the website, surplusfundsriches.net. If you have any questions, please do me a favor, either read the file download that you have in front of you. This is also going to show up on YouTube where you will not be able to download that file download. So go to click on that video, the orange circle at the end of this video that says click here. Go to the page, click on products, and about halfway down on the products page and on the sales page that is linked from it, the Black Friday sales page, you should see an insider's guide, which is an overview of all of our programs. If you read those, if you read it either as a download here, let's take a look here, a download here, or from the website, if you've read that and you still have questions, give me a call, 704. Guys, this will be replayed on YouTube. Surplus Funds Riches, all one word. That's our channel. 704-791-9398. And Rochelle says, see and hear you okay. That's awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to shut down chat for a second. I'm coming back, okay? I'm going to shut down chat for a second. Hasha says, hey, Sean, can you hear fine? Sometimes a bit fuzzy. Okay, well, it may be, a product of that. But let me go ahead and turn this in. Hey, Rick, I can see and hear you okay. I'm going to turn chat off for just a moment. All right. And then I'll turn it back on a little bit. Cheryl says, hey, guys, looks and sounds good. Hey, that's great, Cheryl. Cheryl just sent in a testimonial to us. It's on the website, or rather, it's on the YouTube channel, Surplus Funds Riches. That's our channel. And I really appreciate you doing that, Cheryl, sending that in for us. A lot of you guys don't realize this, but when somebody has been successful using our program and we know it, either they were a partner or they sent us proof that they used it on their own, and they sent us a testimonial, we will give them at least a book, any book of their choice. So I'm not really paying for it because obviously they felt there was some value there and they got paid already. So they're requesting another program. And we've had good success with that. I am also going. Okay, Jeff says just leave the chat up. All right, let's leave the chat up. But guys, I do have to cover some stuff. So if you ask a question and it takes a minute for me to get to you, just understand that. Two things very important. A couple of checks. We had 2 checks come in today. Guy had 2 foreclosures on him. Last name Chambers, Isabel N. This is your deals. I should be picking this up tomorrow. I'm assuming it's going to be through the account by Wednesday because the attorney's cutting me a check for both of these. Both of them are in the 40s, so it's almost $90,000, and that's going to be a nice little payday. Not little, nice payday for Isabel. The other one is Walacia L is the researcher. It was a $95,000 deal, last name Ward. Getting that check. Probably getting the check in tomorrow at the attorney's office, so I probably won't be able to pick it up till Monday. I'm thinking Thursday or Friday next week I should be able to pay you out, Walacia. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up on that. Philippe says, good evening. Hey, Philippe. Rochelle says, what's new coming down the pipeline? I'll get to that in a minute, Rochelle. Good question. Donna says, good evening. I'm in. Thanks. That's great. All right. So the house cleaning things, and you may see me looking to the side of the screen. That's because I've got to read notes I made because I had some questions. I had a couple of questions to answer from YouTube comments that were, I answered them there, but I also want to answer them here. Also Facebook direct messages. I also put a video together on YouTube that will launch on the 12th, this coming Tuesday. And that's going to be a really, really good video. OMG is the thumbnail. It's about things people are saying. There was a recent video from one of the surplus funds trainer competitors that I have, where the program said that to set yourself apart, you need to send the claimant a fake check for the surplus funds amount. Okay. And that sounds crazy and stupid. And I think it is. Okay. Not trying to be derogatory, but come on. But I've seen even worse than that. And you need to watch that video. It'll be up on Tuesday. I think Tuesday evening on the channel, Surplus Funds Riches. I've also had folks contacting me say that they've been told to buy the claimant a pizza and send that out. And I also buy them a small gift. Guys, that stuff doesn't work. Okay. Watch the video to see what does on Surplus Funds Riches, the YouTube channel on Tuesday. Other questions? Somebody said, I can't buy the program from your site. Guys, we're returning to a once a month sale situation where we like to moderate, govern the number of people that can buy programs from us per month. The next time that we're going to have a sale is going to be on Black Friday. It'll start at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Black Friday. It'll be over at 10 p.m. Eastern on Cyber Monday, that following Monday, Eastern time. By the way, when we sell programs once a month, that doesn't mean that you can only train once a month. Some people think that means they have to show up and they get training that way. That's not how that works. You learn at your own pace. You get a combination of an ebook and PDF format, and also a link from that to a resources page with additional video training and more information. Of course, we have email-based support. Jeff gets back very quickly, typically within one business day. And we have these live question and answer webinars. The next sale, again, Black Friday, November 29th, 10 a.m. After that, guys, we're not going to sell anything until January 1st. So, and I'm not guaranteeing the pricing of where it's at. It's going to still be there January 1st. So go to surplusfundsriches.net, click on products, follow that Black Friday sale intro, from that products page, and reserve your spot there. Please reserve your spot because you'll get email and text notifications and reminders. And I'm looking to the side again because I have to scroll down a little bit. There will be some fantastic deals on Black Friday, including the opportunity for folks to get our Panning for Hidden Surplus Funds program, guys. Only selling 3 of those for $11.97. If you remember, we launched this January 1st of 2023. It is still, we sold it for 1 day, except after that, you had to get the diamond bundle to get it, $2,497 with other programs in it. But to this day, it's still accounting for 60% or more of all of our deals. That tells you how powerful that is. Basically, you're working mortgage overages in those states where you can't get a list. We teach you how to estimate that correctly, and we partner with you on that and give you 40% of net. That has been a staggeringly successful program. Again, you usually have to buy the diamond in order to get it, and that's what it's going to be after the sale on Black Friday. We're only going to sell 3 of them. That'll be $11.97. The other thing Jeff put together was a Black Friday surplus bundle, national surplus funds, surplus 50/50, which you can never get on its own other than through you have to buy the diamond. Florida remote surplus, same situation. You can't normally get that. And the surplus hybrid, and that's $797. There's only going to be 5 of those available. Of course, we have the normal programs available, but again, this is going to be the last time I can guarantee the pricing on this stuff. We do not offer surplus 50/50 or Florida remote surplus by itself. We just don't do that anymore. I get this about once a week. One further question. I just want to hammer this home because I get it consistently. No, we will not work with folks that haven't purchased and taken our training course. We don't know what you know. We have to know that we're working with somebody that actually knows what they're doing in this business. And that means you got to buy the training. You can get in with the national surplus for as little as $597, teaches you how to do it on your own, and gives you the option to partner with us where your only job is to go get a list and then take that list and research the debt against the property to make sure there is an accreditor, somebody with a debt against the property of the person. There's an accreditor that has a priority claim to the surplus in front of them. And we teach you how to do all that, guys. All right, let me scroll down here a little bit, see where we're at. Christian says, help. Okay, I'd like you to be a little more specific, Christian. What's your question? And Doreen says, hello, my name is Doreen. Is this live? Yes, Doreen, it is. By the way, I've had somebody say purple hamster to prove to me that you're live. Christian, are you there? Yes, I'm here, Christian. And you said help. Guys, ask the questions you got. Any and all questions are fine. And we really appreciate the community that we've built here and the interaction that we have. Let me make sure I'm looking at here. And again, Cheryl, welcome. Good to see you. And we really appreciate that testimonial you gave us. And I put that up on, I think you saw it, the YouTube channel just recently. Christian says, thank you, brother. You're welcome. Ask your question, Christian. And you know, questions are welcome. One of the other things I want to address here is sometimes you guys are getting deeds and you're researching it. And then you're taking it a step further because you realize we will also work estate files if a probate file has to be opened and we have to go after heirs. And you guys are researching. You're like, well, I'm going to find out if the people died. And instead of putting the name that's on the deed, you're putting the heirs you think are entitled by looking up on an obituary, something online. Please just give us the names as they stood on the deed, because we need to figure out if they passed away or not. And you're not helping by giving us other names other than the people that were on the deed. I know that sounds counterintuitive, where I'm saying, hey, do less work, but let us do that. We can't trust your work anyway. It's not you. It's just we have really good systems in place and we can't go by what you say. That could take us down a rabbit hole. So please let us do that part of the job, when those of you guys that are partnering with us. Philippe, do you accept surplus funds for deeds vested in a trust? I believe that's on the resources page. There we go. Jeff said it. As long as the trustee of the trust is named. Okay. Show us the paperwork too if you got that. If you saw that there was a trustee for that trust named, yeah, we'll work it. And I believe that's on the resources page too. But good question, Philippe. And Cheryl says, very welcome. Yeah, thanks. Christian, my question is, why is it so hard to get home foreclosure list? I don't understand the question, Christian. You're not looking for a foreclosure list. You're looking for an overage or surplus funds list, and that'll have the dollar amounts on it. Occasionally you'll run into a list, guys, and that list will just have, you need to have one with dollar amount, obviously, like a dollar amount, name of the claimant, and instead of the address, it will show you a PIN, parcel identification number, or PIN, parcel ID number, PIN or PID, I should say. And you can take that number, go to the tax assessor's office for that county, plug it in, and backward engineer the address. Obviously, there are foreclosures on property. Heck, we've seen foreclosures on deeded boat slips before, where surplus funds was created, and there won't be an address associated with that in most cases. In that instance, the worksheet tells you exactly how you can fill it out if you don't have an address. Excuse me. Also, going to the tax, and those of you guys that took the training know this, going to the tax records first actually helps you, because you can get at least a shortened legal description. So when you're researching debt against the property, typically that's also shown on the page that you're searching in the Register of Deeds department. And it's a good way to tell, like, if the person owned 3 homes, was this debt against the property? Because only debt against the property that foreclosed can have a priority claim to the surplus in front of the owner. So it's important to know if you're researching, you've got to pull up by name. You've got to know that it was the correct address, because some people own more than one property. Rachel, with the panning program, are you finding it more difficult to recover funds from any parts of the country? Example, Midwest states, or do you think it's equal across the country? No, Rachel, we're not having an issue anywhere. We are finding, and this may delay the payout a week, maybe. We are finding that some foreclosure attorneys, because we have to contact the actual foreclosure attorney with the panning program to double check the funds are there and to get their claim forms. Our attorney does that for us. But what we're finding in those counties or states, some of them, if the foreclosing attorney is a foreclosure mill, like they're doing 100 a month, 150 a month, which is not uncommon. No kidding, because they're handling a lot more than just one county, but they're handling hundreds even of foreclosures, and it may take an extra week just to get confirmation of funds, and we do that for you. Michael, hi Sean. I recently purchased Diamond for the panning module. Does California offer mortgage overage list, or do we create our own list in California? So, Michael, look on your panning on the resources page with panning, and you will find there's a list of all the states on there. And panning, you really need. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not being derogatory. You really need to read the ebook. The whole point of panning is to create your own list, because you're not going to be able to get a list in those states that we list on the resources page, because it's handled by attorneys. They will not give you a list. It's too much liability. So you have to create your own. We teach you how to do that. And yeah, you can do that in California. Alvaro, on surplusfundslist.com. Are those lists downloaded from Google, requested to the county, or was it the origin? How old are those lists? So Jeff can answer this because he actually runs that, the surplus funds lists.com, where you can actually purchase lists. I believe it's 62 lists for $39 and some change, something like that. It's a really good deal. I think most of them he's finding online, and they're recent lists, but he's got a number of different methods he does to get those. And those are real lists. Those aren't made by some virtual assistant somewhere that's trying to make up a list. We've had people try to make mortgage overage list in non-judicial states where you cannot get a list. It's just from an attorney. That's how we teach you how to do that in panning. But there's things you need to know about that. There's things you need to know in order to get an accurate list. And we know that there are people trying to sell those lists, and they're completely bogus. So use the method, Michael, that's in your ebook. No matter what you do, please don't try to buy a list. And it's going to take a little bit of time, because sometimes you have to follow the foreclosure from inception, from when it started through to the end, because a lot of times at the end they're going to erase what the opening bid was. So you'll know that. Read the ebook at least twice for comprehension. Watch the videos on that page. I did a really good job with walkthroughs of the ebook and the page on that particular program, and you shouldn't have any difficulty with that. Good. Jeff says for the surplusfundslists.com, you can get those. You can buy lists there. It is current as of September the 1st, which is good. They are from the county, either online or requested. There you go. There's your question answered. Guys, there's a reason, by the way, people all the time, they buy the book. And I'm glad you're asking questions here. This is a community, and somebody always asks a question that you don't think of. So it's great to be a part of it. And I'm glad people are asking these questions. But whatever you do, don't wait until these webinars, because you have email-based support. You can open a ticket and typically get a response within 1 business day. So that's important to know that. And I just wanted to make a point of that. And also, though, I do get a lot of people that will purchase the ebook, then they'll send me an email and go, hey, I got a quick question for you. Or they'll even call me and say, I have a quick question. I just bought your ebook. And I have to open with, look, I handle the back end. I'm working with the crew and the attorneys, the office crew and the attorneys. And I'm also handling, in those instances where we do deed flips, I'm also handling the sale of the home. Jeff handles the front line. He underwrites the files as they come in. He handles training and support questions. And we think that makes sense, because now he's helping you as you go along. And he's also underwriting the file, so he's seeing your work and helping you correct that if need be. Right. Theta, lost power was my question answered. Let's look at Q&A and see if you did it there. Oh, yeah, guys, do me a favor, by the way. There's 3 questions here. Don't use Q&A, use chat, please. Alvaro says this is his first webinar. That's great. He says on the list, are those lists? Okay, he asked it in the chat. That's great. Theta, what link can we use to research the deeds? So Theta, did you buy the ebook? Because it teaches you how to go to, it's typically the Register of Deeds or Land Records Department for the county, the same county as where the house was foreclosed in. And you can, it's most instances, it's free. I know that in Georgia, they do charge you to access deed information. It's statewide though, and I think it's like $40, $39 a month. And you can research all the Register of Deeds departments. And it's surprisingly, there's not a whole lot of competition in Georgia, because people don't want to spend the $40 a month, because it's not a lot of money in a business, right? It's nothing. And it's unlimited searches every single month, checking deeds, debt and ownership deeds through the county, the Register of Deeds or Land Records Department through Georgia, the GSCCCA. You'll see that. Just use your ebook to look it up if you work in Georgia. Very easy to get tax sale lists in Georgia. The other one that charges that I know of to access and check the Register of Deeds Department is a lot of the counties, well, about half the counties in California, and some of them even charge you per document view. So that can get a little cost prohibitive for a lot of people, I understand. Okay, yes, so I did answer your question, Theta. Elvera, deceased ex-owners, the condition to work it is to have joint tenancy? No, Elvera, it doesn't have to be joint tenant. Joint tenant's great if there was John Smith and Mary Smith, joint tenants with rights of survivorship. If that's the situation and John Smith died and he died prior to the foreclosure, at the time of his death in a joint tenants with rights of survivorship, everything transfers to the other person or persons on the deed. That particular percentage of the interest transfers over. So it was two people and one guy died prior to the sale, then the surviving deed holder, surviving tenant is entitled to all of it. But no, that doesn't have to be the case. We're going after kids all the time. We have no issue with that. We have I've said this before, but a couple months ago, we signed up with a second central attorney that is helping us with probate and estate matters. That's kind of their specialty. And we've been very happy with that and retrieved a lot of money with it. And I want to cover something again real quick. I know there's more stuff coming in here, but real quick, just in case you guys didn't hear this, two checks, one of them came in today, rather two checks came in today, but it was off of one file. Last name Chambers, both of the checks were in the 40s, so it's going to add up to close to $90,000. Isabel N. was the researcher on that. You should be getting paid shortly. I'll be sending you an email tomorrow. Came in today, that means to the attorney's office, so they should be able to cut a check to me tomorrow. It'll take a couple of days for that to clear, and then I can send checks, but I prefer to send an ACH credit directly into your account. And I do that very quickly as soon as it clears my account, usually a couple of days. The other one is coming in tomorrow. We know because the FedEx label, we did the tracking on it. Last name Ward, and this is coming in again tomorrow, Friday. Wallachia L is the researcher on this, and 95 grand. That's going to be a nice hit for you, Wallachia. Of course, I'll be reaching out to you guys with emails to let you know about that. All right, guys, bring on the questions. And again, looks like we had a lot of people come in a little bit later. Just so you know, I realize you can't purchase right now. We're going back to selling programs only once per month. That does not mean you have to be there and take training. It's an ebook plus video training and email-based support and these webinars. Okay, very easy to do. Read the ebook twice for comprehension. Do the example file at the end of that ebook, and then watch the videos and read the additional information on the resources page, and you'll be set, guys. Just take your time. It's a new skill set. It's going to take you a little bit, but you can do it at your own pace. And we went back to only selling them, allowing people to come on board as members with us, where they have the option to partner or do it on their own, whatever they want to do. And we went back to doing that just once a month. So the next one will be Good Friday through Cyber Monday, November 29th, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern through Monday, the 1st of December at 10 p.m. Eastern. After that, you're going to have to wait till January 1st, and I am not guaranteeing the pricing we currently have on the program. So if you're interested in it, go to surplusfundsriches.net, click the link for products. There'll be a link there from to the Black Friday sale, and at the bottom, there's an area where you can actually sign up for reminders, email and text reminders, basically reserve your spot. Again, I'm seeing a lot of people that came in a little bit later. Definitely check the file download. And download that. Now, those of you guys that are watching this as a replay on YouTube, you're not going to be able to do that, but the file download is going to be information on the Black Friday sale. It's also going to be the insider's guide, basically information on all of our different programs. If you go to the website, you can still get that if you're seeing this as a replay, surplusfundsriches.net. There'll also be a orange circle at the end of this video that'll say click here. You can click that, click on products. Halfway down, once you get to the products page, you got to put your name and information in. We're not going to hound you. You got to put your name and information and drop you on the products page, and the insider's guide is there, and you can read that. If you still have questions, call me direct at 704, and guys, this is on the website too, 704-791-9398, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. All right. Oren, when looking at tax overages, is it quite common to find people that was otherwise free and clear? Yes, Oren, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But the most recent deed filing might be a decade or greater quick claim, nothing more recent, no mortgage. Okay to submit? Yes. And this is a big thing, Warren. A lot of people don't understand. And by the way, Jeff just put the link up for the Black Friday sale where you can go and you can also reserve your spot there. So, be sure to click on that when you get an opportunity. Um, especially if you're worried you're going to miss the Black Friday sale. I'd go ahead and do that now. Seriously, go ahead and jump out and do that. Click that link. Or when looking at tax overage, is it quite common to find property that was otherwise free and clear? In other words, there wasn't additional debt. There wasn't a mortgage, HELOC loan. It's very common in tax overages. Okay, you still have to check it, but it's very common. The reason it's very common is if there was a mortgage on that property, mortgages started about 20 years ago requiring people to pay. The mortgage payment has 4 parts to it: principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Okay. Excuse me, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. What that means is they escrow or take payments on a monthly basis. So at the end of the year, they can pay all the taxes that are due. They escrow that in. So typically, if there was a mortgage against that property, you still got to check, guys. There could be HELOC loans, there could be liens, all kinds of crazy stuff on there. But typically, I'd say at least 60, 70% of the time in tax mortgages, there is not additional debt. You definitely have to check it. But there usually is an additional debt because if there was, HELOC loans don't require you to pay taxes. So you're going to find quite a bit of those. But on the mortgages would have foreclosed ahead of the county because they weren't getting paid. Okay. The county would not have beat them to the foreclosure. And because you're paying principal, interest, taxes, insurance to the mortgage company, they're going to keep everything current as they're going through the foreclosure process. So, and they're going to foreclose typically a lot, usually 6 months they'll start the process, 4 to 6 months even, of foreclosing on people that haven't been paying their mortgage, versus counties typically take over a year. Okay. That's or by the way, great question. That's a very good question. We get that a lot. And I think it's because people don't understand how many people buy property. They buy the property cash, or they haven't. Here's a big one. They've inherited the property. Okay. And they just haven't paid the taxes up to this point. Warren says, I assume that might be the case since tax sale is often after 5 years of non payment. No, it depends on the area, Warren. I'm going to stop. You have more of a question here, but you get into Florida, they're going fast, 1.5 years, sometimes 2 years. It depends on the area. You've got certain states that'll wait, you're right, 5 to 10 years. And by the way, the tax departments are not doing anybody a favor waiting 10 years to foreclose over taxes, because at that point, the people are so deep, there's no way they're going to come up with 10 years worth of taxes. Okay. If they haven't been able to pay it on a yearly basis, they're kind of screwed. It's better to rip the Band-Aid off like Florida does and foreclose faster, because it's a better chance that people can come up with a way to come up with the money. He also says, bank would have taken action much sooner, ? Absolutely. The banks do not screw around. And by the way, one of the things, and Warren says Washington State is where I was looking. Sure, that doesn't, yeah, no problem there. I'm going to see if I actually want to get into that. All right, so on mortgage foreclosures, just like in tax, by the way, guys, they're going, those of you guys that are working the business on your own in particular, this is going to have an impact on you. The people are going to tell you that the property did not foreclose. Okay. They're going to say, oh, it didn't foreclose. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, but about 10% of the time, that's high. In tax overages, people go, no. When we're flipping property, we'll try to buy. This isn't surplus funds. This is when we're in the flipping arena here. We also offer flipping programs. We'll try to buy it prior to the foreclosure and then flip it as is, whereas to an investor. And they'll argue, no, it's not going into foreclosure because I bought the property with cash. Okay, you still have to pay annual taxes on the property. And a lot of people don't understand that. We've actually had to send them the notice showing that the property is going into foreclosure, approve it, and get them anywhere. And a lot of people don't think it's been foreclosed. They've put their head in the sand. They didn't update their notification address with the tax department. A lot of times they don't know that. Warren says Washington State is where I was looking. Oh, that was the last one. I think Jeff probably cut it off. Guys, this was fantastic. By the way, I'm not ignoring, let me scroll up. Rochelle, what's new coming down the pipeline? You know that January 1st, a lot of times we'll launch something new. I'm not sure if we're going to even allow the general public to get it this year. We may just limit it to people that have purchased a program from us before this time, but I'm not going to go. We're going to go into that probably in December. We'll start telling people about what we're doing then. Right now, honestly, if there's anybody in here that's on the fence or hasn't bought from us, one of the things I would say is, again, I'm not going to, sorry, my puppies are in the background going crazy. I'm not going to guarantee the pricing we have now next year. And for this year, it'll be November 29th, Black Friday through Cyber Monday. That will be the only time you're going to be able to buy a program from us this year. And then you're going to have to wait till January 1st. Guys, great questions tonight. Love having the community. Love having you guys on board. And again, if you haven't purchased, either download that file, download you see in front of you, or go to the site, surplusfundsriches.net, click on products, get in, okay? Go there. And there's an insider's guide you can download for any questions you have. But if you still have questions, my phone number is right on the website. I'm available 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. And I'm going to give it a second here. Should be a file download right in front of you. Click that and download it because I'm about to end this. So click that file download if you haven't already and download that file, okay? Give you guys just a second to do that. And again, Alvaro, fantastic questions. Oren, fantastic questions. Everybody on here, I've really enjoyed this evening, and I hope that you have a great night. Take care.